everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I just wanted to give like a little bit of an update, a life update I guess. If it's a little bit echoey, I'm sorry, but I just moved to a new apartment and it's a little bit bare, so yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of an echo, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry. But I will be filming an apartment tour when I finish decorating my apartment and I'm more settled in, probably towards the middle or the end of April. That should be out, so yeah, you can look forward to that. But like I said, today I just wanted to give like a life update, I guess. Like I said, I moved. So I moved to a new apartment. I'm still living in Sejong. I'm still teaching with the same school, but I decided to move into Sejong City instead of staying in Jocheon. I love Jocheon. I honestly would have loved to stay there. I love my apartment. I love my apartment. It was just everything I wanted. It was perfect. But the commute, the distance from my apartment to my school was the biggest reason why I moved to Sejong City. If you are teaching with EPIK or just in Korea in general, for the most part, the apartment that your school sets you up with could be walking distance from your school. It could be right across the street, or it could be a bus ride or a few bus rides away. And I personally don't mind that. Even when I was living in the States, it wasn't a problem for me. I loved taking the bus. I would take the bus to my university the same time that I would commute from Jocheon to my school. So I thought it wouldn't be a problem because I was already so used to that. But yeah, it adds up if you're waking up late in the morning and you need to take a taxi. And if you're doing that every single day. Not every day I would take a taxi to school. But it just got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'd rather move into Sejong. So I did, and I'm here in Sejong City and I really love my apartment. I can't wait to make it feel like home and decorated and everything for you all to see because I love this apartment. But yeah, I think that's the biggest one of the life updates that I have. I'm sure everyone is aware of the situation that is going on right now in the world with the Rona. We're not gonna say the name because apparently YouTube is doing weird stuff about videos that say the C word or mention it in the title or in things like that. But I haven't made a video about Miss Rona, mainly because I don't feel like I'm a professional. I don't feel like I'm qualified enough to talk about it, and I don't want to give out wrong information to anyone or think, oh, this is how she's dealing with it, so this is how we have to deal with it too. And that's definitely not the case, because the way that Korea is handling it compared to other countries like the United States is completely very different. So what I'm doing will definitely, the way that I am handling it and how I'm acting here in Korea is going to be way different from how people in other countries may be handling this situation. But I just didn't feel qualified enough to talk about it. I felt like everyone is already talking about it on YouTube, so why should I make a video about it? Even now, I don't even know if I'll even end up posting this video. Like, I could just film this and then decide later. Yeah, I'm not gonna post it. But the reason why I made this channel was to look back at my experience while I'm living abroad and just see what my life was like. And this is something important. Even if, you know, I personally am not super heavily affected. Like, I am affected by it, but it's not ruining my quality of life personally. So even if it's not affecting me in that way, I still think it's important to make this video so I could just look back on it and see how it was like, and maybe my feelings toward it or my opinion would have changed in years. But yeah, that's just why I'm making this video. And also just why not? I don't know. But yeah, that's the reason why I haven't posted anything about it on YouTube. I know a lot of people have been messaging me on my social medias and commenting on some of my videos about the situation in Korea and how I'm handling it. Like, do I plan on coming home? Am I scared? Am I gonna lose my job? Am I getting paid? Am I worried? And honestly, for myself, I'm not worried at all. If anything, I'm more worried for my family and friends and all of those that are living in the United States, just from seeing how it's being handled there. And even before majority of the country or majority of the big cities in the US were starting to go into like citywide quarantines, I was very worried for them because I feel like a lot of people think it's a joke and they're not taking it seriously, or they're thinking that because this is like the time of spring break and like those big holidays, so because so many people had already had these trips and these plans, they thought I'll just go through with the plan and then later I'll quarantine and all that kind of stuff. But they basically didn't take it seriously, and it's definitely spreading a lot, even in my home city. I mean, it's not super bad in El Paso, but it's still there. And just every time I go on social media and I'm seeing people panicking and the toilet paper hoarding and the food and everything is it, it blows my mind to think like I could have been in that situation. I could have been there. But here I am in Korea. I have plenty of toilet paper all to myself. I have all the food I need. I have my job, which I'm very, very grateful for. I'm getting paid. I have a job. I have the opportunity to even be able to move to a new apartment in a time like this. I am okay. I'm fine. Please don't worry about me. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm fine here. I still have a job. I'm getting paid. In terms of my job, I think school was supposed to start last week. Was it last week? Yes, last Monday school was supposed to start in Korea, but school has been pushed back and pushed back. So now the official school date for the school semester starts April 6th. So that is all public schools, elementary, middle school, high school, I believe kindergartens. Hagwons, that it's a little bit different. It just depends on the individual hagwons. But for public schools, they all start April 6th. That could change in the next week or so, depending on how the numbers are going in Korea. But from the looks of it, Korea is recovering very well. Korea hasn't been under any quarantine, any official quarantine. It's just been strongly recommended by the government to stay home, practice social distancing and things like that. So if you are seeing people going out and hiking and things like that, I don't think there's a problem with it as long as they're not in huge gatherings. And from the people that I personally follow, like my friends and other people that I follow on social media that do live here in Korea, most of them are not going out into big crowds and endangering themselves and other people. But I have seen other people that are going to very touristy locations where there are tons of people, or there are festivals for the flowers that are blooming because it's spring and finally the weather is beautiful. All the flowers are coming out here in Korea and it's like the most beautiful, perfect days. But it's like you don't want to go outside because you don't want to risk it, but then you do go outside and you see that there are tons of other people. So that is very risky. And I know that it seems like everything's getting okay, everything is getting better. The numbers here are going down, but if all of us keep going outside and gathering in these areas where there are lots of people, that's how the numbers will spike up like they did recently. So am I worried about Korea? No. But I do think that if people aren't taking the proper precautions that they should be, then numbers may increase in a way that we don't want them to. When it comes to dealing with this situation and like practicing social distancing and things like that, I really do strongly urge you, especially if you are living in the US or if you're in a country where the numbers are starting to increase in the people that are being infected and confirmed, please just stay indoors as much as you can. Do not meet with other people. If you have the luxury to be able to work from home, take advantage of that and do that, because you've probably already seen all the videos about it, all the people talking about it on social media, so I'm not gonna make this entire video just about that, but please just follow the CDC's guidelines and try to practice social distancing. If you have symptoms, just call. Do not visit the hospital or the ER. Just call them and let them know your symptoms and things, because just by going out, you can either risk yourself contracting it or risk spreading it to other people. When times of crisis like this happen, the internet makes tons of memes and things like that, and it's a way for us to cope with whatever is going on. But I really do want people to know that this is serious. This isn't like a little issue that'll just it'll just go away. Like, this is serious. This is costing people their lives. This is killing people. So please, yes, you can make memes and joke about it, but when it comes down to it, it's a serious matter. Like, don't take it lightly. Okay, enough of the sad stuff. Life updates. I think that's it. I think that's really it. It's really just the virus and I moved to a new apartment. Yeah, other than that, life is chilling. Like, I've been here at home most of the time. I started watercolor painting, which was really nice to be able to start doing something artistic again, because I'm very much an introvert and I'm okay with being alone by myself. But when I am alone by myself in my home, doing nothing for like a week, that makes me go crazy. So I need to let out that stress and frustration somehow. I don't even know why I really wanted to make this video. I feel like, is there anything else to even talk about? I don't know. In terms of how epic and teaching in Korea will be in the future, I don't know, but I personally don't think that this will affect people that want to come to Korea and teach in the future. If everything goes the way it should be and we get rid of this or we find a vaccine, I don't think that Korea will stop their demand for native English teachers, if that makes sense. Because even when this virus was really kicking off here in Korea, before it had even really become what it is now in the US and even in Italy, a lot of teachers were leaving Korea early. So they were breaking their contracts basically and just going home in fear of the virus spreading. And most of these teachers were Hagwon teachers, I will say. So a lot of people were breaking their contracts and a lot of schools needed teachers. I mean, of course this could change in the future. I don't work for any of these companies. I don't know anything, but I don't think that there will never not be a need for foreign English teachers, if that makes sense. If the programs are postponed at the moment, I believe most of them are pushing for bringing teachers for like another year, so for the spring semesters instead of the fall. I haven't heard anything about me going home or the school sending us home for whatever reason, so I'm not worried about being sent home or deported or whatever. But yeah, I think that's everything really that's happened in my life. That's not really much of a life update. I felt kind of weird not making a video about it, even though I didn't really feel qualified to talk about this situation. I still wanted to say something about it because I feel like I'd feel worse if I didn't say anything about it. So yeah, that's why I decided to make this video. Happy quarantining if you are self-quarantining, and if you are not, please stay safe. I love you all. Bye.